Hello friends, how are you? Welcome back to Change Your Life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Washington quarter dollar coins as we explore three incredible coins that continue to attract the attention of collectors: the 1968 quarter, the 1969 quarter, and the 1995 D Washington quarter. These iconic American coins have a rich history, timeless designs, and, in rare cases, unique minting errors that can make them highly desirable to collectors. Have you ever wondered whether an old quarter hiding in your pocket, coin jar, or collection could be worth far more than just 25 cents? While most Washington quarters are worth their face value, a small number with genuine mint errors, exceptional condition, or unusual characteristics have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's why collectors carefully inspect every detail, including the mint mark, strike quality, natural color toning, and overall condition. In today's video, we'll uncover the history behind these famous quarters, explain the significance of the D mint mark and why some coins appear to have no mint mark, discuss different color shades and circulated conditions, and reveal the features that collectors and investors look for when determining a coin's value. So before you spend that old Washington quarter, stay with us until the very end. You might learn how to recognize a hidden treasure that's been sitting unnoticed in your collection for years. Now, let's begin with coin number 1 and discover the story behind the 1968 first coin. Welcome back to Change Your Life. Today, we're exploring one of the most talked about Washington quarters, the 1968 quarter that appears to have no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin that has spent decades in circulation. It might be scratched, dark in color, dirty, or covered with natural toning from years of use. Most people would spend it without giving it a second thought. But experienced collectors know that unusual-looking coins deserve a closer inspection because small details can make a big difference. The Washington quarter has a rich history in the United States. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it quickly became one of America's most recognizable coins. For generations, these quarters have been used in everyday commerce, while collectors have searched for the rare examples that stand out because of their condition, history, or genuine minting errors. The year 1968 was an important period in modern American coinage. By this time, regular Washington quarters were no longer made from the 90% silver composition used through 1964. Instead, they were produced using a durable copper nickel-clad construction with a copper core. If you look carefully at the edge of a normal 1968 quarter, you can usually see the copper colored layer running through the center. One detail often discussed by collectors is the mint mark. In 1968, circulation quarters were normally struck at the Denver Mint, carrying a D mint mark, or at the San Francisco Mint for proof issues with an S mint mark. Because of this, a 1968 quarter that genuinely appears to have no mint mark is unusual and deserves careful examination. It does not automatically mean the coin is valuable. It could be the result of wear, damage, or another issue, but it is worth inspecting closely. Collectors evaluate much more than the date or mint mark. They examine the strike quality, original surfaces, overall preservation, and any genuine minting errors that occurred during production. A coin with a verified mint error or exceptional condition may attract much greater collector interest than an ordinary circulated example. Natural toning is another feature that can catch a collector's eye. Over many years, some quarters develop shades of gold, blue, violet, or gray. These colors form naturally and can add visual appeal when the coin remains in its original, uncleaned state. However, harsh cleaning or polishing usually reduces collector value because it removes the original surfaces that collectors appreciate. As we continue, we'll explore the types of genuine mint errors that specialists search for on 1968 Washington quarters, how condition affects value, and why careful examination is the key to discovering whether a coin is truly special. Second coin. Welcome back to Change Your Life. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating story of the 1978 Washington quarter with no mint mark. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary pocket coin that has been passed from one person to another for decades. It might be scratched, dirty, dark in color, or covered with natural toning from years of circulation. Most people would spend it without a second thought. but experienced collectors know that every old coin deserves a closer look because small details can sometimes make a big difference. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in American history. It was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Since then, billions of these quarters have circulated throughout the United States, becoming an important part of everyday commerce. Over the years, some Washington quarters have become highly collectible because of their rarity, historical importance, outstanding condition, or unusual minting errors. Our featured coin today is the 1978 Washington quarter with no mint mark. If you don't see a mint mark on the front of your coin beside George Washington's portrait, it means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not place mint marks on quarters during that period. Many people mistakenly believe a missing mint mark automatically makes the coin rare, but that is not the case. For 1978 Philadelphia quarters, having no mint mark is completely normal. Another common misunderstanding is that every old Washington quarter is made of silver. In reality, the regular 1978 quarter was struck using a copper core with outer layers of copper and nickel, not silver. If you look carefully at the edge of the coin, you can usually see the copper-colored center between the outer layers. This is one of the easiest ways to identify the standard clad version. Collectors examine much more than the date on a coin. They study the quality of the strike, the original mint luster, the surfaces, and whether the coin has remained free from heavy wear. They also look for genuine minting errors, because those mistakes can make certain coins much more desirable than ordinary examples. You may also notice that some 1978 quarters have different colors. One coin may appear bright and shiny, while another has golden, blue, purple, or gray toning. These colors usually develop naturally over many years because of the environment in which the coin was stored. Attractive natural toning can increase collector interest, while harsh cleaning, scratches, or corrosion often reduce a coin's appeal. Today, most circulated 1978 no mint mark quarters are worth 25 cents. However, coins preserved in exceptional uncirculated condition are those with verified rare mint errors can command much higher prices from collectors. That is why experienced numismatists inspect every coin carefully before deciding its value. So before you spend your old 1978 Washington quarter, take a few moments to examine it closely. You may not have a rare treasure, but if your coin has an unusual feature, outstanding condition, or a genuine mint error, it could be worth much more than face value. In the next part of this video, we'll reveal the rare mint errors, grading standards, and collector features that can make certain 1978 no mint mark Washington quarters especially desirable. Next up, tired and finial coin. Welcome back to Change Your Life. We've reached the final coin in today's countdown, and it's one that many collectors still search for and pocket. Change. The 1995 D Washington quarter. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin that has spent years in circulation. It could be scratched, dirty, dark in color, or covered with natural toning from decades of use. Most people would never think twice before spending it, but experienced collectors know that every old coin deserves a careful inspection because small details can sometimes make a surprising difference. The Washington quarter has been an important part of American history since 1932, when it was introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. For generations, these quarters have circulated across the United States, becoming one of the nation's most familiar coins. Although billions have been produced, a small number have attracted collector attention because of their outstanding condition or genuine minting errors. Today's featured coin is the 1995 D Washington quarter. The D mint mark indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major United States mint facilities. During 1995, millions of these quarters were produced for everyday circulation. Because they were made in such large numbers, most circulated examples remain worth their face value of 25 cents. However, collectors understand that the date alone never determines a coin's value. One common misunderstanding is that older Washington quarters are silver. In reality, the standard 1995 D Washington quarter is not silver. It was struck with a copper core and outer layers of copper and nickel. If you look at the edge of the coin, you'll usually notice the copper-colored core between the outer layers. Collectors carefully examine each coin's strike quality, original mint luster, surface preservation, and any unusual characteristics created during the minting process. They also search for genuine mint errors because those are often far more valuable than ordinary circulation coins. Natural toning is another feature that can make a coin more attractive. Over many years, some quarters develop beautiful shades of gold, blue, violet, or gray. These colors form naturally and can increase collector interest when the coin remains in its original, uncleaned condition. By contrast, harsh cleaning or polishing usually reduces collector appeal. So before you spend a 1995 Washington quarter, take a moment to inspect it carefully. While most examples are common, an unusually well-preserved coin or one with a genuine mint error could be much more interesting to collectors than you might expect. In the next part, we'll examine the rare mint errors, grading standards, and collector demand that can make certain 1995 Washington quarters stand out from ordinary examples. See you in the next video.